Oh,
Mm-mm-mm.
hell yeah. Welcome all. Welcome to the weekly Q&A. It looks pretty good. I'm proud of Will for these graphics. Are you good on Ceice?
Yeah, it looks good. I just pulled up the 414 Twitch. Everything on my stream.
Is X going? Oh my god, I got the noti for X. That's
We're here.
sick. I like that you can stream on Twitter now. Or X. My apologies.
X. Yeah, don't. Come on.
Also, sorry for my epic camera quality. I'm very self-conscious about it, so please nobody say anything.
Looks great. Looks great.
All right. So, where do we want to start? You want to start about what you've been dealing with this week, and then I'll go with what I'm dealing with this week.
Just with life. So
Yeah,
like,
well, 4 of 4 preferably, but yeah,
I'll
go
just
live.
okay,
I
okay.
mean,
I'll quickly. I think we should quickly dive into our life real
all
quick.
right, let's go to life,
Moment.
man.
Yeah, let's do that. Well, yeah, the last weekend was FNCS Globals,
Yep.
so we did that. Went to go watch some people, compete and play on Arrow. And been working on a lot of the behind the scenes stuff with 414 with just making sure things are moving fluidly.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's kind of boring. So I don't. That's basically that's the most entertaining. That's the most fun way to explain it. But it's kind of just like the mundane things.
Yeah. I think the event was really cool. I liked it. It seemed like a new age for Fortnite. Like, with all the media
Definitely.
coverage, like that was the first time I've seen a Fortnite event be that well covered on Twitter and have that much viewership in a long time. Like, that was pretty sick.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It broke. It broke every number. It broke every single number.
Actually?
Uh, that's yeah from last year. Like everything is higher than it was last year, which is pretty nuts. I mean, moving away from the prime like World Cup days to having it break like new numbers is pretty sick. So I think everyone benefited, even including Epic. Maybe not financially, but
I mean, esports is a loss leader anyways, right? So,
yeah,
like, you're marketing it. That's the goal.
that's fair. I mean, Epic also kind of shoots himself in the foot when it comes to like selling apparel. Like they don't do it the exact right way to maximize profits, but
Yeah.
so they could be making more, but they kind of don't want to, I guess.
Yeah. I would love to be at those events. Like, I don't know. We were talking about this, but getting somehow a booth or like some sort of like influence at those events,
Yeah,
especially like as our catalog expands into kind of a wider net of products, I think,
yeah,
dude, that would be so sick. Like, be
I'm with it.
interacting with the actual events themselves. Like, oh, that would be full circle too. So, all right, we got. When are y'all gonna restock? Do you want to handle it? I have my
Stream, stream,
PR
stream.
answer. I have it. I have a pre-planned answer.
Yeah, you go for it.
um, yeah. So right now we're in the early stages of this collection. So we're planning on for one of our stages announcing like the dates to expect things, but we're going one at a time with like kind of the different check marks before a restock. I think a lot of people don't understand that like it takes a lot of time to get product in from when it's finalized, and especially with like the manufacturing issues we were dealing with in the last year since our launch. It's like when you set up a whole new system and a whole new criteria of things that you want in the product and a whole I don't know what I can leak and what I can't, but it takes like 90 days from the order put in order to get into your hands. So that's 3 months. So it's pretty hard to you can't just like magically make them. Anyways, the balance is this like you we have to balance the fact that we want our product to actually be better. We want our product to like pun intended elevate on pretty much every level from our first launch. Like all of our start media, we're like we're going to listen to you guys and then we're going to make these improvements and then we're going to dish something out. And so like to do that, that just takes time. And so like we did have the option this May and I've talked about this a bit online through like Reddit and different things, people reaching out to me in DMs. We had the option in May to release a product, but we kind of all like just sat down and were like real with ourselves that we were rushing this because like you need money to run a company, and not selling anything for 7 months, no matter how well your first collection is a pretty freaking stressful endeavor. You start counting your pennies really fast, but we were like, all right, we just need to brave the storm because it's all about like once we actually have these systems in place, making sure every release after that is pre-planned. So like, yeah, we're going to have a dates out soon, so that question is going to be a lot more obvious. But for now, we're just trying to kind of let you guys know what to expect in the restock. That's like our goal for this next little bit, this next month, I would say.
Yeah, I would say to add to that, maybe not to answer your question exactly, because I think he touched on it, but I mean, it's very difficult. I view it as very difficult because of the what we went through. So maybe I'm sure people have always have an easier path or even a harder path, but it's very difficult to like launch a product, launch a company, and then just hit it again right after. Because for most startup companies, your big push is at the start. So a lot of your funding goes into that because you want that to be successful.
Yeah.
And so having an extra, like having a bang right after that, a month later or 2 months later, isn't like really possible unless you have millions of dollars to just keep it going. That's basically that. It also on that same note of that is like we trust ourselves and we trust our product and we trust what we're creating. But I mean, a realistic way to look at everything is like this may not people may not like these designs. They may
Yeah.
not like the way this is put out there. So
Yeah.
they may not buy a single thing. And so that's like you can't just put an order in for the next collection and the next collection and not know how the first one does. And so I think that we're moving forward in a great direction. So hopefully in the
Yeah.
future we can have a steady flow of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, not to get technical, but like our first drop, you have like this general understanding, like especially we're complete business novices, so like we didn't really have any KPI metrics or really any deep understanding of like what data leads to demand. Like once we sold out, we're like, oh shit, we're selling out really fast. Like that's what's leading us on our future stuff. So, kind of creating feedback loops. One is like we now have our NDA cord, which kind of helps solve that problem Davis has, or like we had. So like our NDA cord, which is just our feedback group. I shouldn't call it NDA cord, but we have a feedback group with like a ton of different reviewers from the community, like pretty much a person from like every community, like AIM community, like peripheral community, everyone who kind of influences it. So running our future stuff through them to like get thoughts and opinions has been like absolutely crucial. Yeah. Outside of that though, like we're now at the place where we're working forward, which is really nice. So like we have actual products ahead of this in the pipeline that like when we said we had products, I feel like it was like a very optimistic thing to say before, but now it's like we're actually like we can plan out releases in the future. So it's like we don't have to do delays. Like and yeah, it's like after like this collection, we have an actual future to our company. So that's like really, really exciting to like try to do our best now because like we're excited for the future, if that makes sense. It makes it almost infinite instead of like just these finite one by one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly.
Sorry, I'm retweeting this. Also, dude, I'm surprised, bro. It's going pretty well.
It looks great.
I just want to say, yeah, no, you're good.
I was going to say, I just made a channel in the Discord for community questions. So if you guys are hearing this right now, you guys can join our community Discord. If you're seeing this on Twitch, !Discord. If you're seeing this on YouTube, !Discord. And if you're seeing this on Twitter or X,
the
The
tweets,
Discord
yeah, you can find it in our
will be linked in the tweet below
yeah,
this.
yeah.
So, join the Discord community questions channel. Ask away. We're here to answer everything and anything.
Dude, I was so
Um,
anxious last
yeah.
night, like to Davis to Ceice. I was literally like, I haven't streamed in 40. This is from Elevate's PC, so I just want to say, like, I had him screen share. He set it up. I was like a complete stream noob again. I went back to day one. I got the jitters before this. I was like, I have to be live again.
Yeah, he's tripping. Yeah, he didn't know how to. He didn't know what to do for his OBS settings, but
um.
it's all good.
Okay. Topic. Roles, dude. I feel like people don't know kind of what we do. Like, we Form 4, there's like, we like to talk like there's two types of businesses. What's the
Yep.
buzzword I'm thinking? It's not reactive. You're blanking too? Okay, we'll just say we're a reactive business. So like you have businesses where you plan everything out ahead of time.
Agile.
Agile, yeah, we're an agile business. This is for me and Davis's deep learning. You have like you plan everything out ahead of time, and then once like you have the cash, and then once everything, all the dominoes are in order, then you hit the ground running. And then you have agile, which is like pretty much you can think of just like jumping in to the pool head first and then figuring out everything that you're doing as you go along the way. And so we're very young. I mean, we're like submitting business formation documents like that, like we've had to go through and fix a lot of like just like we didn't know what we were doing. Um, so yeah, we're agile, and it's kind of led to us creating different roles and compartmentalizing our business. So like me and Davis, we interact a ton, obviously, for the well-being of the company, but I think we have two different avenues that we're focused on. So do you want to kind of talk about your avenue, like what you're good at? It's kind of cool too because it ties into, us as a duo back in the day.
I feel like that doesn't. I feel like that's not. Uh,
I feel like it does.
maybe. Yeah, I can touch on it. So for me and what I do at 414 on a day-to-day basis is just keep the company afloat. Feels like. I run a lot of the behind-the-scenes things, making sure things are moving and moving quickly and efficiently. So a lot of things like um, product management and social media management, just pretty much everything that you could possibly think of behind the scenes kind of runs through me. I would say like 99% of every email chain
Yeah.
I'm involved with. And yeah, it's very boring. I don't know.
I don't know why
I
Davis is
don't know
selling
how.
himself short here.
I don't know how to hype it up.
Yeah, I would say Davis does everything that is required for the business to move forward on a nitty-gritty scale. Like he seriously any tasks that like is needed for time, like you have to get this done by this date, and it's within like the next week or 2 weeks, I would say. And so that kind of branches into like our retailer sales, that branches into he honestly just gets shit done. Like that's the best way I could put Davis's role, like in a parentheses. And then like my role is to keep us moving forward. So I guess it depends on how you look at it, but I feel like if we were to swap, like we would sync, like if we if we were to do each other's roles, because Davis is very good about being on time, getting like setting his schedule. He's a lot more organized with his personal time than I am. I'm very envious of that, but I'm very good at like kind of a lot of the creative stuff. So I'm pretty much everything you guys see was formulated idea wise by me. I don't want to sound egotistical and take away from the team because the team's amazing, but like I guess other than the actual graphics themselves, all the ideas are kind of ran through me and what I do at the company. So like even this weekly Q&A, I actually think it was Jaya's idea, so it's a bad one. But yeah, like getting this set up, getting it marketed, all of the designs for what you guys see, a lot of the idea creation is me. Obviously, we have the talent, and shout out Will, who I want to do an episode with, but Will's our creative director, so he kind of takes a lot of my ideas and makes them happen. So yeah, we like to we didn't want to be like CEOs, like CFO or anything like that, because it didn't really make sense for us. So we have Davis as COO, or Chief Organization Officer, and then me as CVO, which is a little like, we got from a book we read when we started, but I'm Chief Vision Officer. So like, move us forward. Davis keeps us going. Works pretty good.
Yep. I think if we did switch roles, I think it would. I think that I personally handle the vision
No,
and lead
dude.
it forward.
What?
I think I could keep it afloat.
All right, give
But
me a mouse pad design idea then.
all right. How about like a Western theme?
Oh yeah, dude.
How about like a country
Wow.
theme pad?
Wow.
That could be good. That could be good.
So much inspiration is flowing through you. What would
Yeah.
you put on it?
Something from like Montana or something.
Like a small town in
Tumbleweed.
like a small town in Idaho.
Yeah, feller. No, I don't know. I mean, let me think. Maybe a Shrek pad.
Oh my god, yeah, Shrek
Wait.
pad.
That'd be sick. Yeah, no. I don't know. I think it would be definitely very difficult, and I think that I could do it if you were like gone for a bit, and then wouldn't be able to sustain it. And I
Yeah.
think that's probably the same way that it would be for you. It would just be very hard to do it for a long amount of time.
Yeah, I
And
100% agree.
That's exactly why I think we work so well, and why we've been moving in such a positive direction. On top of that, I mean, we've got Jacob.
Yeah, shout out the team, dude.
Yeah. Jacob, Will, Chris, Jaya. Real ones.
Seriously.
Did I miss anybody?
Frizzle.
That's like my.
We need to shout out Frizzle. Frizzle is like our X factor, man. Frizzle helps us with all the Discord and is longtime friend of me, so nicest guy ever, for real. Tonka asked, how can I get one of your mouse pads?
Which one?
Wow. Davis.
What?
How can
How can you get one of the mouse pads? So right now,
any,
what are you giggling about?
I'm just reading the chat. They said any mouse pad.
Oh, any mouse pad. What chat is this from?
YouTube chat. I just have the restream open.
Okay. Oh, right.
Do you
I
want do I need to
I see,
take
I see.
this away?
Oh, I see. Yeah. How can you get one of our mouse pads? So we sell on 414.gg. And we run on a collection basis. So, Legacy Collection was our first, and now we're moving into our next. If you want to release the name publicly on the stage, I'll let Hayden do it. But yeah, that's how it is, and that's how it's going to be going forward. Right now, we don't have our next collection released yet, so there is nothing to purchase. There is nothing to buy, but we are putting out media and kind of rolling towards the next collection pretty fast.
Perfect. Wow. Inspirational. You're so well media trained.
I love that.
Yeah. So, do we want to talk about the next collection a little bit? I'll kind of lead. Yep. I'll lead with what to say and what not to leak. Because if we're doing this weekly, we have a lot of potential leaks that I don't want. But yeah, so the product we're very, very happy with it. I'll say this. I feel like we kept true to our promises when we started this company. So yeah, our goal with this one, and so formulate your opinions based on what I'm about to say, is take in the information from the community and improve based on all of the responses we got and release something that's significantly better that you can tell is better. I said this to the feedback group, but Arrow was kind of a great pad just as its base. Like first release, it was a good pad. It had like really great community feedback. So to the people who don't know much about mouse pads, it's going to feel like a great pad. It's going to be, it's the same kind of foundation, I'll say, as the first one. But to the people who, are actually fact checking us on the fact that we are trying to listen to the community and make it better where we can, I think it's going to be an ode to that. I think people are going to be, when you look at it under the microscope, people are going to be really, really happy with the improvements we made. So, yeah, I'll keep it there. I don't know if I should say the one letter and one number, but yeah. What do you
Yeah,
think,
I mean,
Davis?
maybe for next week.
Yeah,
I
next
think
week.
I think yeah, just like he said it, there's a ton of improvements, and I'm amped about it. And just like we did before we launched the company in general, we spread it around with pros and gave it to people that understand the feel of a mouse pad and what to look for at a very deep level. And we've done that again. And so nothing but positive feedback internally. And again, it's not like we are redesigning the arrow and the arrow isn't changing in a drastic way. It's that wouldn't make sense to even be calling it the arrow at that point. So
Yeah.
um yeah, I mean, it's still very much
It's
the
still an
exact
arrow.
same.
If we were to like make the arrow, and this is answering this YouTube comment, I guess,
Yeah.
chat from ASW, it's like if we were to make it a control pad, like we change arrow speed and make it control, we wouldn't call it arrow. Like that is a new mouse pad. So keeping that foundation of what is arrow and like the iconic things about arrow. So like the iconic things in my mind are as a very unique top material, right? Like that's something that like that top material is really hard to work with. Like the spandex is very, very hard to work with. And there's a
Yeah.
reason it's like there's not many options for like that type of material on the market. So, but keeping that, but yet around it, I think there's a lot of things that we just weren't educated on. We didn't know. And so, like, you give us a year, you give anyone a year to really work on something, they're going to come out with a way better product, a way more polished product. And so, I think that's what we did. Um, yeah. And during that same time, again, we had other stuff that's like really, really exciting that was worked on. But yeah, I think everybody who loved the original Arrow is going to love it even more. And that's like, I say that with confidence. That's something I couldn't say when we wanted to release in May. And that's why we
Yep.
didn't release in May. And it's something I can really confidently say now. So I'm very, very, very happy.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
so stoked. I'm like
I
actually
think
so stoked.
I think we I mean, well, I can't what am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for here? I think that there's like you mentioned, a year on the product, um, or not necessarily a year, but spending a lot of time on something is only going to get better. And our first time doing it, um, we were just naive. Like we just thought like this was the best we could possibly do, but there's
Yeah,
there's levels up to it. So
a
this is
hundred
really that
percent.
next this is that next step up, and so I'm excited for it.
Yeah. It's with us, we have the unique ability, like Arrow was felt, like we felt our way to Arrow. Like seriously, there's a photo, I don't know if it ever went live, but like we laid out every sample, like final sample or whatever that we had leading up to Arrow, and there was like probably like 60, 50 pads in front of us. Is that fair to say? You could check me if I'm hyperbolizing, but it was a
Yeah,
lot. And
it
so
was it was not 50-60 pads. That's kind of crazy.
how much,
50-60
how many was
pads.
it? It was a
Oh,
garage.
it was probably like 25.
Okay.
So it was
So
a lot. But yeah, I mean, if you can picture a giant like island, huge island, probably the size of this room. If you can see the room behind me, Shrek, from here to the room and
oh yeah.
more, like width, was that island wide enough to have multiple mouse pads all spread throughout, all the way down. It was like a huge dining table full of mouse pads and multiple different mice, multiple different people. moving it around. Like it was very very fun experience.
We took a
But yeah, I mean
photo.
we
We like Slavic like crouched. We were like,
like, this is
yeah,
us
this
right
is
here.
how many failures we had, boy.
Yeah,
Hell
so
yeah.
it took a lot to get to the original. And so I think what we got next is gonna blow everything out of the water.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I had something to tie on to that, but I completely lost my train of thought.
Well, I got something. Uh, I think that arrow, this arrow, I think that it will blow every speed pad. Like this will shoot by and be. I think personally, it'll be the best speed pad on the market. Like
That's
ranked
a lot.
one.
All right, hell yeah.
I think so because I've gone through and I've tested, um, and I've used others and nothing compares. I just think the quality difference is just there. I just think that's like it's just like you have it, it's gonna last for an extreme amount of time. Like everything is there on that end, and I think that that's what you look for in a speed pad because when you're talking about speed, you're talking about the fast the how fast your mouse moves, how fast you're able to glide across the pad, and how consistent you can do that is really the quality standard of that. Like a control pad, like if it's already kind of a slower pad and it gets a little slower, how much do you really notice that? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like
Yeah,
skates on your mouse. It's like when your skates run down, you're like, wow, okay, I had really nice skates on it. Now they're coming down a bit, and I need to change them out. And I think this the quality of this pad is
yeah,
just at a different level. And I think that in turn that'll last an infinite amount longer.
yeah. I'll say this for like when we released, I was like, people had us in categories with like some of the biggest brands in the speed category. Like people had us in the same categories like Artisan and like even like Lamzu Energon, which is a great pad. Like a lot of these competitors that like we really looked up to. And so that feeling of like that we're there on our first try at it was like we were extremely grateful for that. So to like take in something that is already punching with those and then we just literally sole focus made that spent a year trying to make that better, you know? It's like then we have the result. And so
Yep.
yeah, I remember what I was going to say. I think we were talking about before this the kind of what led to the product. So when we first, like our first mouse pad, the first Arrow, a lot of it was very feel based. So, like, we have the ability because we've spent countless hours. We've received like tons of products from different brands. Pretty much like every big brand has sent me a mouse pad or a product at some time. So, like, we had the unique opportunity to feel our way to a very high level. And I think that's like almost an X factor that we're lucky to have. That, you know, being a player owned company, we don't have seating. We haven't done like a Series A, right? Where you're just me and Davis are bootstrapping this. So mixing that with now we've brought in like people like Chris who's like has like detailed experience with different textiles and everything that goes into it. Mixing that into, you know, what's leading us forward with the mouse pad, I think is just a recipe that I'm very excited because it's an infinite thing. It doesn't just mean that the next Arrow will be will be the best. Like it doesn't mean like even if it's the best for now, peripherals are always going on, right? So it means that for future going forward, no matter what we get into, if it's mice, keyboards, like we have that, you know, system. We have that like equation almost for success, and I'm really really excited to see what comes out of that equation. We had a
Yeah.
sorry,
Good.
we had a guy
Go ahead.
say, "When can I buy in Japan?" So our first drop, we were kind of novices, and we thought we were just gonna sell in the U.S. We didn't think we would, like, we had no. When I say KPI, I call it means key performance indicators. So we had no idea that like the marketing was going that well to where we had such an international pull. So we got kind of a lot of I won't say hate, but it was like kind of fair hate, right? Like people wanted our pad in Japan, and they had to pay like $110 of shipping from our US site because we only had a manufacturer in US. We couldn't afford to have warehouses, right? And we didn't have any retailer connections because we kind of came out of nowhere. But a big concern or criticism for us was that, hey, I couldn't get it when you guys launched. So I will say our releases, they're all like, we're stacking them up, so they're all going to be in like a realistic bubble. Like I can't make promises now because nothing's pen to paper. But they should all be within kind of the release window of, I'll just say like a month, right? I think that's a pretty fair. You can overstep me if I don't want to make any false promises, but yeah, we took that criticism in, so we should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems to be a trend towards speeds and pads in Japan in some games, so it should suit your project. Heck yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say on your first point, before you answer that question, that, I mean, a company that is founded by people that are not only passionate about the space and improving product, but also know what they're talking about and have gone through every possible
Yeah.
like situation when it comes to finding the right things, and even building your own thing like we did here. I think that's extremely valuable. And I'm not saying that there's other companies in the space that don't have that type of detail, but I think that it definitely helps stand us apart against the masses.
Yeah.
And then as for the Japan situation, yeah, he kind of talked about it, but basically, I mean, as you could probably expect and predict yourself, like if you were starting a brand new company, nobody really knows who you are. We technically had no idea how well this would sell. So that was a thing that like
Yeah.
kind of blows you out of the water when, like you said, like the marketing just kind of goes crazy. And also like on the same thing of being a new company, like if we were to even hit up these vendors and be like, hey, look, we want to sell you our unreleased thing that has no numbers to it. Like we have nothing to put behind it. It's
Yeah.
like it's impossible. It's literally impossible. So the only solution that we could have done in the meantime, which I kind of wish we did, was just make international shipping a one-time price and just kind of eat the cost. So we could have had people
Yeah.
across the globe have the product, and that would have been a solution. But again, either way, like it wouldn't have been like a $10 shipping. It probably would have been like a one-time price of $30 or something like that. And so
Yeah.
that even that is still expensive to pay for shipping.
And then
And
you have
so
the risk of like that could literally like if Japan
someone
if
could
Japan bought
short,
all
like,
our stock, it could
yeah,
flatline
yeah,
us. Like we could
yeah, yeah,
lose.
yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. So there's a risk there, but that's the only thing I kind of wish we did
Yeah.
for a little bit. But yeah, we've built those connections now. We have an entire line of vendors, of reputable vendors
Yeah.
across the globe, and people that we've worked with in the past, and we're going to continue to work with going forward. And I think that it's going to be great. I mean, having 414 spread across the globe,
It's so
for
cool.
everything is going to be awesome.
I just like seeing, especially like I stalk the Reddits, like seeing people all over the world tweet out their like 4-on-4 reviews and their first experiences in the brand. It's like we're very blessed to be in like 10 different countries like just off of our launch. Like that's I don't know many businesses that can say that. So like we're very thankful for kind of the community in all those different places. Yeah, kind of segueing into just talking about our mindset when running the company and where we're at. So, yeah, we're very focused on our reputation / our brand right now. This is a whole new topic, so just warning, Davis. A lot of our decisions go based on like kind of our pillars that we set out, but we're not really like positioning ourselves to kind of like milk profits, just because kind of twofold. One, we want 4-on-4 the brand. We want to get it out there, and we want people to have positive experiences with it. We want people to be able to like prove our hypothesis right or wrong, give us criticism right or wrong based on, hey, this is a brand from people in the community, from players, right? And we want to build products out for what we would have wanted when we were players, right? And so that's like a pretty big claim in itself. Like, hey, trust us. We are trying to actually, do something, do it the right way, do it the ethical way, create good products that we actually believe in. And everyone's kind of doing that to a sorts, but, it's a lot of our decisions behind the scenes, like to do those international drops, like the ones that went out in May, right? Or early May, late April. We
Yep.
did another round of international, and that, like, we're a team of like 5 people, so to make that happen pretty much took a lot of our resources for like 2 to 3 months. So 2 to 3 months where we probably could have, gone and done something else and then left those customers slash the community in those areas unhappy. Like, we made the executive decision to put kind of profits second because had made a promise that we're going to get out to the people who want it, because we want people to engage with 4 and 4. And it's kind of the same with a lot of our giveaway units and, a lot of our community investment. Like, our money could be spent probably better to maximize our profit and loss, like maximize our margins. But like right now, we want people to experience the brand. And I think, once our brand and we have these systems in place that we believe an integral part is like the community and is the brand engagement. So once we have that, I think then it can be a win-win and we can like ethically make money while giving out value, And so that's kind of the behind the scenes thoughts behind all of these collections right now. And where we're at, it's like obviously you need cash to survive. And so we have to set it up. Like if we're doing all this and just pushing our brand, it leaves us very vulnerable to like what we like to call storms. So like we had to weather a storm to even get to this collection. Like I think a lot of business owners, like it's not like we were tragic, but it was very hard. Like it was a hard time. We weren't selling anything. People were always asking for the next collection. It's kind of it's a tough feeling. And but we had set ourselves up to weather the storm, and we knew like we would have to weather the storm. So kind of the keeping the brand going while making sure we're safe to give you guys more value. It's understanding the value equation is really, really big. And I think that's something where pretty much every meeting, every product decision kind of goes through that filter before we even think about releasing or making money off of it. So, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
You got anything more?
Tom asked in the Discord,
Yeah.
what exactly will be changed with the upcoming pads?
So I don't think we can say that right now. I'm sorry, Tom, but I'm only saying that because I'm literally planning the media right now and getting it created that's going to explain that. I think like in a Q&A, I like the thought of my Q&As is kind of like leak stuff, but like when it's in the timeline, like all of our media I schedule out, I create the idea, I do a write-up, I schedule it out ahead of time, right? And so when I know that's kind of going to come out, I like to tell you guys first. But I think it's just like it's probably like 2, 3, 4 weeks out before like we're really announcing every integral detail on what's going into the changes. I really want that to be a big moment. But that will be like probably in a Q&A here shortly. I will be able to answer that. I just can't give like an exact detail on what's improved about every single thing right now because it would take a little too much wind out of the sails. So I'm sorry, but yeah, there will be something like there will be a media piece that does that in a way cooler way than I could do in the Q&A right now. So I think, I think your question will be answered here very shortly is what I should say.
I think it's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
Think that, I mean, yes, Tom and everyone listening, we could definitely tell you the changes going forward, but I think that it would not only look better, but also having everything condensed down and properly worded and like not off the top of our dome, kind of explaining it. Like, and I think even on that note, there's definitely a shot to miss something, miss a slight
Yeah.
detail. and so that's not great. Like you would want to know every little,
Yes.
facet about the mouse pad.
Well, that's a big
And so
thing. Yeah. Sorry.
I think waiting and just, like Hayden said, having everything prepared. Also, I mean, this isn't the only thing that we're gonna answer. Just answering, what will be changed isn't gonna be the only detail that's gonna be posted in the coming weeks. And so having all that prepared and lined up and coming after, I think will just be a better thing overall. But yeah, I mean, that's gonna be a big post for sure.
Yeah. That's like I look at it as like, I separate it from like our integral media pieces. I don't know why I call that, maybe a buzzword. But those are like 3, 4 pieces that uh, are really like we really want to push. Like we really want to get people excited about in those 3, 4 pieces. Those 3, 4 pieces are like really the heart blood of what we're trying to do, the story we're trying to tell in these collections. Like we're trying to give something. We want our mouse pads to like go on people's walls. Like that's like we want them to be something extremely special. And so yeah, those pieces are very important. Where does most of your feedback come from during production? Other pros/reviewers. So, yeah, we'll do half and half on this. I'll give half, and then you give half. You can
Sure.
do the pro half, I guess. Yeah. So one, we have. Actually, I'll leave you with the pro half. um, yeah. So we're very blessed to be a part of the community for a long time and players. So, we have a network. We know a lot of people on a like personal level throughout the community. So one thing that we set up before we kind of had it, but it wasn't as organized, is our feedback group. So our feedback group are like pretty notable names inside of the community that pretty much every big decision goes through. So yeah, we have this kind of win-win of like the idea that the community, if we want to be the brand for the community, if we want to sell to the community and be right by the community, then the community should shape our brand. Like obviously I have goals with it, but like criticism is number one, right? And even if it hurts your feelings, you kind of have to take it in. And so that feedback group has been so freaking helpful for every decision. And I do monthly YouTube videos that I hope none of them get leaked. I swear, because it's literally like me in front of a webcam in an unlisted YouTube video. I'm like, hey guys, so here's what we're working on. And, like one of them, like they go from everything, like even talking about like growing our Discord and our community. What do you guys want to see? Like, what do you see around the community that's good? What's bad? What is an ode to you guys? And then, yeah, back to production. Just, getting them out stuff, getting their opinions on things. A lot of sending them and talking about what other companies are doing, right? Like, you got to be ever vigilant. This industry moves fast. So to be on top, you always got to be one-upping yourself, right? And like that was our goal with this product. But yeah, like, hey, what do you think about like these guys have something that's really unique that just came out? Do you guys think this is good? Do you think it's bad? Because I have my own opinions pretty much instantly on everything, right? I'm like, oh, this is what I think of this. But sometimes when I talk to them, they open up like an opinion or a thought process that I wasn't dialed in on. And so, then I have to really separate myself and my bias and think about it deeply and then go forward with a decision from there. So getting as much information to your decisions from people in the community is really, really helpful. And I would say that's the reviewer/community side. If you want to talk about pros and like kind of how we have been this summer, how we're events and things like that.
Yeah, for the pro side, it's pretty similar to feedback that we give. In my opinion, I think we give like, it's just straight up like, yeah, this felt good, and this I like this, or this could be changed in a small way. It's definitely like a lot minor. Like again, the pros really are the pro. I feel like when you are a pro, you just feel your way to what you want. There are definitely people and pros that are like top, that know exactly what shape of the mouse they want, or what keyboard they want, what switches they want, what mousepad they want, and this that. But yeah, I think with the interactions we've had so far, it's been pretty much just like caveman-y in the sense like, okay, I like the stitching. All right, I like this. I like this. I like the size. Whatever, right? So that's been our feedback with pros, which is great because they're getting like real tournament experience. And I think for a lot of us, that's our end game is like I want to be on the stage, I want to be competing,
Yeah.
I want to be winning, and so that's I mean if those guys are doing it and those guys are having a good time on it and playing well, it kind of just it kind of just funnels its
Yeah.
way down. And it's like if they can do it, you can do it. Um, and so that's our feedback from pros.
Yeah. We also have our like tournament pro system. Uh, I don't know if there's a better name for it. I just said it out loud, but like when we were players, we wanted like your career goes by really fast. I mean, Davis is very blessed to have a long career, and he'll be the first person to say that. But um, like we've been creating custom designs for a lot of these big events, um, for kind of the
Yeah,
people who are using Arrow and interaction with 4 and 4 who really enjoy it, and getting them out products for those events, custom designed, whatever like kind of inspiration we have. And that's been kind of a huge like positive what during our downtime is that feedback from those situations. So getting people, kind of hooked on the product, hooked on the brand, and then being like, I just remember I'm kind of bashing Final Mouse here, but Final Mouse is Final Mouse. I think we all agree. But like
yeah,
I was playing at a really, really, really big LAN, and my Final Mouse broke in my bag on the way to the LAN, and I was like, "Hey, I need a Final Mouse," and I couldn't get one, and I never used a Final Mouse again because like I couldn't risk that, so I went back to Logitech because like I was always able to get Logitech mice. So it's just keeping that thought process as a player of like whatever a player needs. If they're interacting with our brand, like we know what we would have wanted as players. So, it is really important for us to kind of support them. It's like, I really love the idea that if I was playing, a brand would give me a custom mouse pad for Fortnite World Cup that I used. And like that would be hanging on my wall right now. And every time I saw that, it would just flood me with the memories from that event. So like us doing that with players now and pros now who are living the dream that we lived / Davis is living. Sorry, I always slight shade you, but I never mean to. It's just I'm talking from my heart. um, yeah, that's like just kind of sick, and we have the means to do it. So, we love being like honest or being what we would have wanted. That's a good way to run it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's
this dude was saying the file mouse thing happened with tens with his own mouse. Now he doesn't use it. Yeah, so and people bounce peripherals. It's I don't know, like yeah.
no, yeah. I mean, I think
Yeah, no
that
problem, Will.
not only is it a great gift and a trophy to have, like hey, like this is a story. Like you keep your badges, you keep your pins you get from an event. It's like a great thing to have to commemorate X event, but also like you said, people switch products quick, and I think that if there isn't a system that supports you, uh, then there's no reason to stay.
Yeah.
If you're not, I personally think that if you're a top pro and you're competing and you're not getting supported by the company that you're using, it's kind of wild. Like there's a ton of people out there. Like I mean, we can think of so many big names. Like I mean, we can use Tens for example. I'm not sure exactly what he plays on right now, but I think that's probably a sign that should be a bigger detail. Like what again, I don't know what his headset is or what his keyboard is or what his mouse is now that he's switched off his tens mouse. It's like whatever company that he's using, in my opinion, they should be fully standing behind them. Whatever you need, we're here, ready to go. Last second, like last minute, doesn't matter. And so
Yeah.
having that support for every pro player is very important.
Yeah. 100%. Also, we're gonna be ending in 10 minutes, but so make sure you guys !mark Discord. If you're on X, you can go to the replies of the tweet of our announcement. So it's like a photo of us. Join the Discord. Get in the Discord. We're gonna be rolling the giveaway in the Discord. So make sure you guys come join that. We can't verify through like Twitch or Twitter. It's just join the Discord so you guys can be eligible for it. I don't want anyone's like trying to be able to get in doesn't have a chance at all. So yeah, exclamation mark Discord. Go find the Discord, join, get verified, and yeah, we'll roll it. We're gonna announce it in general chat. But yeah, this is our first time doing this, so we'll make sure the giveaway's known. We're not trying to not give away something, but it might take like a few minutes after the stream. But yeah, get in the Discord, guys. And then Will also said, I made a comment about your pad on Reddit in comparison with another brand, which I did, yeah. And you took the time, did a bit better, and you took the time to reply, so that goes a long way with people. Yeah, I think it's kind of like I'm kind of a nerd with it. I really enjoy the community, and like we spam say that, and that's kind of like the criticism thing. Like even there, it's like a brand is like your baby, man. Like everything that goes into this product is my baby. So like I have that knee jerk, and you just saw it, reaction to be like defensive over something. Like it's like so hard to make the criticism not hit you as a personal attack, even though it's obviously not meant to be, right? And so it's like with comments like that on Reddit, it's like taking in that actual information, especially that's probably during a time where that information was directly going into my decisions and my thought process, and at least said in like our community team setting of like, hey guys, like, have we thought about this? Like, everything needs to be discussed, right? So, taking that knee-jerk reaction of like, and then, no, dude, I know. And actually taking that information in is like critical. Like it's almost against human nature, but if you actually mean to get better, then it's the same like way when we were competing, right? It's like just another lesson from our professional days. Like me and Davis on stream would like scream at each other all the time because we were so passionate about it. And like maybe in the moment we would fight back or like, but afterwards when we're VOD reviewing or after like that game, like we would always be like, yeah, you're right. Like how do we make that better, right? So it's just keeping that same mindset of when we were trying to improve our own games to now we're just trying to improve a product. So, nah, dude, you do not need to apologize at all. You're good, Will. Thank you. 100%, bro. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to talk a bit about design. Try to keep it still a little... I am very heavily inspired by fashion, and I think also if you look where like me and Davis came from, there's just like been surrounded by a lot of great things and people, right? And so, but fashion is something we love, and one thing I took away is, and I always bring up to the team is like, not that we are inspired by like the designs of this brand, but when you talk about like fear of God, right? You envision, when I say fear of God, if you envision a shirt that was like a fear of God dupe, and it had like what the fear of God stuff looks like, but it said different words, like it said fear of man or something like that, right? You're gonna still know it's a fear of God dupe because fear of God's branding is so iconic and so special to them, right? So with 4-on-4, like a big thing for us is we're not afraid to be brave with our stuff. I think the fragment pad, a lot of people really enjoyed the fragment because it was so different. It was so in your face. But it was still sleek, right? It like kind of like was on that line. But there's elements from the fragment that are really, really iconic. And so with a lot of our designs, I'm trying to, even if you blacked out our logo, if you showed a room of people, they would know that's a 414 pad just by the elements of its sleekness, its impact on you immediately, and just a lot of the other elements. So I think our collection, the design-wise, I think we took, and Davis, I'm biased, so Davis, say your words. I think we took a massive step forward on pretty much every element. I think it's just it's just straight better, and I'm like really proud of it. We were searching for designs for this for so long, um, and when the design hit, it was the same feeling as the fragment, where it's like that's the design. Like we all knew
Yeah.
that was the one. So yeah, I think if you like 4-on-4's designs, you're gonna just continue to love them more and more as we get better and better. And our creative team is just every day learning and getting stronger. Will is like now completely understands the brand. Will is running his own projects, which we want to get Will on here sometime soon. But Will is completely manning his own projects, and I've been able to give him kind of my insight and like the direction, and he's been able to add to it, which is such a big thing. Like it can't be understated enough how special that is. To take an idea, conceptualize it, and make it better when I hand it off is just so. Yeah, I think 4-on-4, we have our thing, and we're pushing the boundaries a little bit, but like in a healthy way. I think it's gonna
Yep.
be. I'm really stoked design wise.
Yeah. I think the detailed and the designs are a step up. I think that just it's the same thing we talked about earlier with the amount of time that has passed is you're gonna go through those phases of like of overall improvement. Like
Yeah,
you're gonna be like 9 months ago, we probably, if we were to release a product 9 months ago, it would have probably not have been much of an upgrade design wise at all. It would have been probably very similar because we would have. I think we were a little bit creatively strapped or
yeah,
trapped. Sorry.
yeah, 100%.
And so I think, yeah, we've grown a lot, and yeah, man, it's again the detail is just there, and the detail of the pads that we haven't released publicly as well, that I know of, like behind the scenes designs that we're still moving with, that I wish we
Yeah.
it's there. So yeah, I'm excited. I think our future for designs is
Me,
going to be insane.
me and Davis have often heated arguments over whose design is the favorite.
Well, picking designs is always the hardest because they're always so cool, but
Yeah. And each
yeah,
one, we're
there's
now at the point where each one has like its own thought process. It's like we're taking, like, we have our design, let's boil it down into a pot, and let's look at, like, fragment, we boil it down. What is iconic about it? Okay, like the centered placement, right? The how in your face it is, like kind of that stoicism Greek vibe, right? Like that's very unique. The detail on the printing of the stone was very special. Our logo, right? Like it's very symmetrical. It gives off premium. Let's look at these like bananagrams on my freaking desk, and like let's pick out the ones that like need to stay, right? And then like that's what are the bad things about it, right? So it's that is just kind of how you shape the brand and the design behind it, and get a feel, right? We're growing people's interactions with the brand. Let's grow how they feel about the brand. Let's grow, you know, what the brand gives off with that. All right. So we did an hour
make sure you
here.
guys join the Discord.
Yep.
Yeah, join the Discord, exclamation point Discord and YouTube and Twitch chat, and then the tweet below this one will have the Discord linked as well. Yeah, thank you guys for joining a part of first week.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a weekly thing, same time, same place, every single week. I'm excited
Monday,
for it.
1:30
Monday,
p.m.
EST.
EST.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
And I think that as we move through the weeks, the entire thing is gonna get better. I mean, just like how that's just how we are as people. We're just gonna want
Yeah.
to improve on every single aspect. Probably will even see a different stream overlay. Might see a different system here and there, and overall a better way to connect with you guys and answer questions and yeah, get you guys going.
Yeah. So join the Discord. We're active in there. Join the Twitter community. All the people on Twitter. We're going to be posting highlights of anything you might have missed. So any news you might have missed, stuff like that. And then yeah, join the Discord for giveaways. We also might be doing Twitter community giveaways. So yeah, get involved with the brand. We're always there replying. So we'd love to kind of hear what you guys think. And yeah, hopefully. Let's get some products out that you guys love. So, yeah, thank you so much. See you guys next Monday. Woo! Bye, guys.